This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Right, there's an article here from Sky Sports, and I'll put it in the description box for you guys, as always, to go have a read. And within this one, it has Eddie Hearn talking about Callum Smith. Of course, Callum Smith, he's been out of action for quite some time because his partner, his girl, has given birth. Okay, so right after he won the World Boxing Super Series, obviously, like she was heavily pregnant, so obviously he's been spending time with her because he's been tied down to his World Boxing Super Series for a year, and now he's spending time with her. She's given birth, all that kind of thing. So now he's ready to get back in action. So Eddie Hearn has said that he wants Oleksandr Usyk and Callum Smith, of course, both of these are World Boxing Super Series winners from Season 1, to be on the same card. Potentially in Chicago in May, or in June in New York. When he's talking about opponents, he's saying that Callum Smith is not going to be a headliner kind of fight. It's going to be a keep busy fight, maybe a tough to medium kind of fight. And of course, he did say potentially maybe the winner of James DeGale and Chris Eubank Jr. on that one. So we'll have to wait and see. Oleksandr Usyk, of course, he's been rumoured heavily now with Alexander Povetkin, so it's a very interesting fight as well. So a Oleksandr Usyk and Callum Smith card with Oleksandr Usyk in the main event. He said that it's unlikely that Callum Smith will get his dream headline fight next in Liverpool. Of course, there was like a lot of talk about potentially having him headline a show at Anfield. There was like a lot of talk about a Triple G fight and so on. But he's saying that that's unlikely now. Which is kind of fair enough. He has been out of action for quite some time. And as Eddie Hearn says in this article, Callum Smith needs paying now. In other words, he's done a lot in the World Boxing Super Series. His profile has gone up. And he is not only the World Boxing Super Series winner, he's the Super WBA Super Middleweight World Champion, the WBC Diamond, Muhammad Ali winner, Muhammad Ali Trophy winner even. And his stock has gone through the roof. And now additionally, he's been given the Ring Magazine belt as well. So you've got Oleksandr Usyk and Callum Smith, both of them World Boxing Super Series winners from Season 1. And of course, both of them Ring Magazine titleists as well. So yeah, it's a pretty big, decent event, that's for sure. But how will it go down in Chicago? Don't know. I mean, do people really know Callum Smith or Oleksandr Usyk in America, in Chicago? Do they know him in New York or America as a whole? Don't know. So it's a risk. But, of course, Eddie Hearn, he does have to keep his own happy by putting on shows from America. And doing this kind of double header it's not a bad idea. It really isn't a bad idea. But unfortunately for Season 1, which is why I questioned, do people in America really know who these guys are? It's a case of, because the World Boxing Super Series wasn't shown in America in Season 1 when Usyk and Callum Smith were doing their tournament and ultimately winning it. So is it a case of they're going to be fighting in front of an empty crowd, potentially? But anyways, so that is the news. And Eddie Hearn has said that he wants a double header with them too. As I said, it looks like it could well be Oleksandr Usyk versus Alexander Povetkin. Of course, that's Ukraine versus Russia. I know a lot of people say, well, ideally that fight should be in Russia or Ukraine. And I do agree with you, but at the same time, because there's some kind of tension between them right now, it's not always the safest environment, so I hear. With Callum Smith, to have all this time off since he's won over George Groves and get straight in with a big fight as a headliner at Anfield, he may be a little bit rusty because he's been sat on the sideline for so long, obviously as a new parent. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens, who Callum Smith's opponent will be. Going by the article, it's not going to be anybody of any kind of great note. The biggest kind of name that it could potentially be is the winner of Chris Eubank Jr. and James DeGale, which happens this weekend on ITV Box Office. So go have a read of it yourself. Eddie Hearn's statement is in there. Come to your own conclusions. Drop your thoughts below in this video. Don't forget to click the thumbs up as well. And subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.